Welcome to this meditation on personal independence. The definition of independence, according to Webster's dictionary, is a state of being not dependent, complete exemption from control or the power of others. Also, a state in which a person does not rely on others for subsistence and the ability to support oneself. So the goal in this meditation is not about completely separating yourself from others. It's more about clearing energy of other people's control, maybe some codependency dynamics, so that you can make space to make your own decisions, to create the way you want to live. You know, if we have partnerships or family or kids we're raising, that can come into play, but it doesn't mean that we give up our seniority to be completely dependent on another person. So we'll just see what kind of lights up for you. I have a lot of energies to cover in this meditation. So you'll look to see how much energy you may run in trying to control others, or how much other people are trying to control you, and you'll get to clear that. So we'll look at several different areas, and since there's a lot to cover, we'll go ahead and get started. Everybody just take a deep breath and relax. Make sure your back's straight, feet flat on the floor if you can. If you lay down, you may fall asleep. It's often good to have your chin level, because if you nod forward or backwards, you may doze off a little bit. Sense where your body is right now. Where's your energy? Our energy spreads out during the day, so it could be, you could have left your energy anywhere. If you can imagine taking your arms and either scooping it back in around you, or postulate that you can collect up your energy, which is really kind of part of your aura that is spread out. Bring that close in around your body to about 2 to 3 feet evenly on all sides. And for those of you who have a current grounding cord, to go ahead and release it, allow it to retract into the planet and create a new one in present time. If you don't know how to create a grounding cord, it's a really simple tool that will connect your body to the planet. It's also a vehicle that you'll use tonight to release energies you're ready to release out of your personal space, your energy, your energetic field. That energy is helped to release with the assistance of gravity into the center of the planet, where that energy gets recycled. So in order to create that line of connection called the grounding cord, focus in on the base of your spine. It's approximately the area where your root chakra is located. And from that space, you're going to imagine you can create a hollow tube that connects you from the base of your spine, goes down through the floor beneath you, down through the rubble and gravel, down through all the layers of the planet, where it plugs into the crystalline core. So don't overthink it. It's just connecting your physical body to the planet, your spiritual body to your physical body, and works with gravity. So as you make that connection, you may feel even a little tug on your body. I like to widen my grounding cord out, at least to my hips width, so that I can release more energy with ease. So you can imagine expanding that grounding cord out, that hollow tube, to encompass your hips. If you're widening it out, you're going to want to make sure that it is as wide in the middle as it is in the center of the planet. And also, once you make that connection, you may start to feel the release of energies, kind of that big flush from all the stress and energy that you've collected up from the day. So imagine, with some deep breaths, you can focus in on your body, your aura, and start to let gravity pull that energy out of your body, down through your grounding cord, into the center of the planet. You can even focus on specific energies, stress. Tune into your body. Where are you holding your stress? And don't forget to breathe, and just allow stress to release off your head, maybe your jaws, your neck, your shoulders. Maybe you hold a lot of stress in your solar plexus. That's where your third chakra is, kind of in your gut. Release. Release the busyness of your day. And all that communication, text messages, phone calls, communication with friends, if you had work, if you're traveling, any kind of communication, allow that to release out of your space. You might also focus in on your throat, where your throat chakra is located, and release some energy out of your throat as well. And just a couple more to focus in on that you might be holding on to. Any expectations or demands in your space. Tune in, sense where you're holding that, and release it. And there's always a balance of releasing where we need to replenish as well. So in order to bring our bodies back into balance, there's another tool you can use, which is a symbol of a large, warm, golden sun sitting a few inches above your head. You create that image of a large, warm, golden sun and postulate that wherever you've left your energy, because we leave some everywhere we go, in places and spaces with people, imagine that you can pull that energy or whistle it back or draw it back into that sun above your head. It'll come back 360 too. It's not just straight at you. It's where you left it behind you, and maybe even in some old emotions or things you're working on that you've kind of cleared. Imagine your energy can come back to you. It's gathered up in that sun. Bring that sun in through the top of your head. So it's just a visual of that sun coming in through the top of your head. And once it comes in, into your head, you can watch all that gold energy flow down through your body and start to fill you in from your toes, up your legs, saturate all your cells, saturate all your organs, up to your shoulders, down to your fingertips, up to the top of your head. This is your life force energy. So if you're tired, or you tend to be an ungrounded person, this is a tool you'd want to use quite often to collect up your energy and fill yourself back in. If you've been, again, traveling, or maybe over the 4th of July, you were around a lot of people, you probably have a lot of energy left out in functions or in socializing. Again, this is how you can collect your energy up and fill yourself in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and guide you through how to look at energy clairvoyantly. It's pretty easy to do. If you have never done it before, to read energy clairvoyantly, you want to look at energy out in front of you, like you're looking at a computer screen. You can create a symbol to read energy out in front of you. And that's how a clairvoyant looks at energy to heal. You look at it in a symbol. So to start, imagine about a foot in front of your head. You can create the symbol of a screen, like your very own private movie or viewing screen, about a foot in front of your head. I like mine to be white, so it's easier to look at symbols on my screen. So it's about a foot tall, a foot wide, can have a border around it. And in order to get that screen to stay in place, you'll want to connect a little grounding cord. So a little hollow tube from the base of that screen into the center of the planet. And again, this is where you're going to create a symbol now to be able to look at the energy around your personal independence. So on your screen, you can choose a symbol to hold. It's just a container to hold the energy. I like to either use a clear rose or a clear bubble, which is ever is easier for you to create. So once you have your screen in place, create the visual, a symbol that's easier for you to look at, a clear rose or a clear bubble, one or the other. Put that right in the center of the screen. And as you're creating it, you're postulating it's holding your information on your personal independence. And as you create that, you might already start to see textures or colors light up in that space. You could see a lot of textures and colors that you may not have an affinity for. They could be dark, they could be lumps and bumps. That is energy that you're probably going to want to clear. For some of you, you might have a lot of independence. You might have created a lot of that in your life. So your symbol might be very bright. But as we go through the healing and the different energies, you might find that there are still some to clear out. So in order to be able to release energy out of this space to the base of that symbol, I want you to create a grounding cord. So to the base of the rose or the bubble, another hollow tube that goes into the center of the planet. And that's the vehicle that you're going to use to give this space a healing. Now I want you to take an honest look at this space. What condition is it in? And I'm going to ask you to get a couple of percentages. And this is for your own information. You don't have to share the information with anybody. So it's just for you to have an idea of how much energy someone else is running, control in your space, or you in somebody else's space. So the first question, because you can talk to a symbol and get numbers between 0 and 100%, in this symbol, it will tell you what percentage of control energy is in this space from others that affects your independence. So what percentage of control in your space, in this symbol, is from others that affect your independence? And remember your number. And then I want you to ask another question. What percentage do you have control energy in someone else's space that affects their independence? And remember that number, because we'll look at this again at the end. So to start to release energy out of this space so we can heal it, say hello and acknowledge the textures and colors in that space that you know don't belong, that you're ready to release. To release it, literally, you just have to say like, hello, I see you, dark texture or color, and then watch gravity pull it down the grounding cord into the center of the planet. And the goal here is to clear out as much foreign energy that's affecting your ability to own your independence so that you can create more in your life the way you want to create it. And I'll call out specific energies or vibrations to look at now. And as I call them out, you might see more textures and colors pop up. And that's energy that you know is affecting this space that's attached to the specific energy I'm going to mention right now. The first one is, I want you to look at the texture color in your symbol that has to do with the energy of control. So you can ask if you have it, if a bunch of control energy lights up in that space, you can ask how much is that energy of control somebody else's that's affecting me? Or you could also ask how much of this is my control energy trying to control somebody else? And you might have a mix of both. So take your time, ask your questions, and whatever pops up, go ahead and release. And, it can be really revealing. And it's not that to get angry at another person for running that control energy, because at some point we've kind of allowed it to happen. So we'll keep working to unearth those layers and continue to release. Control energy can cause depression. So I want you to look in the symbol for the energy of depression. But whenever I look at depression, I look at, is it your depression or someone else's depression in your space? Oftentimes, we can have somebody or a friend who runs some depression, or a partner, and we've agreed to maybe help them with that depression, and that really can affect you. So find out what percentage is yours, what percentage is somebody else's, and whatever you see, release it. Okay, again, we move pretty fast here, so you can go back and look at this again if you can't clear it all. And remember, or know that your body and your cells and organs have to process this energy. So if you were able to release 100% of all these energies, that would be pretty difficult, because your body would have to literally process all of that. So just even a partial release on any of these topics will be helpful. All right, look in your symbol on your screen for the next energy, which is programming. So look in this symbol where you're being programmed to be dependent on someone else. And if you see a person or know a person, make the decision. Are you ready to let go of that programming? Maybe you're being programmed to be dependent upon them, or they're programming you so that you will allow them to be dependent upon you. And that could be coworkers, partners, parents, friends. You can talk to that person as a soul too, and just say, it would be a start just to let them know energetically that you're not in agreement with allowing them to program you to be dependent upon them. Just see who that is. You can send them down the grounding cord, but you need to have that communication. And then you also might find that you are programming somebody else as well. So look for your own programming and where you run that programming in someone else, and then release that. Releasing this out is really a way to take back your personal power. Okay, and another way to look at this energy is, I'll just call the terminology out: codependency. So look in your space in this symbol for codependency, and release what you see. Now, often when we try and make separations from someone else, they might throw some punishment energy at you. So look in the space for punishment energy. Have you received punishment energy in this space, or do you run punishment energy when somebody tries to have boundaries with you? So remember, you can always ask both sides of the question. Okay, release any limits from this symbol that says you can't have your independence. That could go all the way back to childhood. Whatever you see, maybe a parent relied on you for everything. It could be agreements that you made with someone, but the energy will show up as a texture, color, but the energy would be of limits. And you may really be activated when I say that, where you need to release it out of your physical body. So you have a grounding cord on your body. So as you're working the tool on your screen, you can release it out of your physical body as well. And I think when you look at any space that you're trying to clear, always look for limits. That could anywhere where you're, excuse me, stuck, look for limits, whether they're yours or coming from someone else. All right, now look for the energy and release invalidation. So I know we'll all have this in our spaces, right? Excuse me, anywhere in your life where you have been invalidated. That could go all the way back to birth, when you chose the sex body that you took. So invalidation, that could be a way to control you, where someone throws and invalidates something that you're creating, and then you start to believe it, and then you lose your personal power, and that keeps you dependent upon them. It can be a pretty vicious cycle. And the other thing is, sometimes we don't even know it's happening because we get so used to that energy. So release invalidation. And I'd suggest going back to look at that energy vibration again. And I'll say too, if you've been invalidated a lot in your life, you may look for others to validate you and what you're creating, but nobody can validate you enough to fill you up. That's where you have to do it for yourself. Like literally, pump your fists and get excited about everything that you create. And don't look for others to validate what you're creating, because if they can't validate you, or they don't know that's what you're looking for, then we can get angry with them, or start to feel like they're not supporting us. But it's really us that has to validate our own creations, and that's how you create more. So every time I do something that I'm really happy about or that I'm proud of, I give myself a little pep talk, and I might even pump my fist, just going, you did it. So that's validating your creations. All right. The next energy to look for is the don't look, where I was kind of talking before about people don't maybe want you to see the energy that where they're in your space, so that we can kind of be programmed not to look for them or something else. So look for the energy of quote unquote, don't look. And again, by releasing all this energy, it's about creating better boundaries so that you can be aware who is in your space or when someone's in your space. And you have a tool now, if you didn't have it before, to release it. So is any of these energies, right? So if you're feeling like you are getting some of your independence taken away by another soul, then you can, when you have time, create this setup or listen to the replay and clear that energy out so you can make better boundaries. You know, it can be scary to change. Like if you've been codependent with somebody, it can be scary to take that next step to change and stop that dynamic. But I'll tell you what's scarier is staying the same and then being limited on what you want to create in your lifetime. Hey, it can be intimidating if you come in to create something really big and somebody's afraid that, well, if you create so much, you won't be around or you'll leave me or whatever that dynamic is. That's when some of this energy of control comes in, or punishment, to kind of keep you smaller so that somebody else can feel, this other person can feel bigger or better or know where you are. That's not true for all of you, but I just see it a lot in people's spaces. So as often as you feel like you need to go and clear out energy to create your boundaries and have independence, this would be something to go back and look at. All right, now you're going to ask the symbol again. What the first question that you asked, what percentage of control energy is in your space from other people that affects your independence? And get your number. And hopefully this little bit of a healing you were able to create to clear enough to see that you have, you're clearing more energy out so that you have more independence. Sorry, very wordy. All right, second question. What percentage do you have control energy in someone else's space that affects their independence? And in a moment here, you'll be able to collect more of that up if you have some of your energy in someone else's space. But I hope you saw some shifts. So let's go ahead and fill this space in to raise the vibration up. So above this symbol on your screen, create a large warm golden sun, just like you did above your head in the beginning. And one thing I'd like you to do first is imagine collecting your energy back up from people and spaces that you know you saw or knew are in that space that we were just healing. So if you have codependency or energy in someone else's space, or if you've left it in situations or even childhood, imagine you can collect up all your energy and direct it back into that sun above your head. Sorry, not of your head, I'm sorry, of the symbol on your screen. So collect up the energy and the sun above the symbol. And whatever you're working on your screen really translates to working on your body. So your body will actually be filled in by this, by working this symbol. So fill that symbol in completely with that gold energy. And then I want you to create one more golden sun. And in this sun, you can put energies that you would like to replace this personal independent space with. So you might want to add confidence, independence, self-affinity, personal power. Maybe you even need some self-love or boundaries. Fill that sun up with these vibrations. You can see them float in there as postulates, words written as gold, or just have the thought they're flowing into that sun on the screen. And when you're ready, bring that sun in through the top of that symbol and saturate every part of that symbol with that, with all those beautiful vibrations. And now you'll want to clear that energy off your screen. It's not good to leave symbols there, right? So an easy way to do that would be to the right of your symbol, create a large gold bubble. and just slide your symbol into that large gold bubble. And you take the visual of a pin and pop it, and that just disperses the energy. You could see it turn into little, a billion little gold bits of dust, if you like. And now you need to fill yourself in too. So above your head, create one more golden sun. And go ahead into that sun and put some, again, some energies or postulates that you want to vibrate at for, say, the rest of the month. That could be anything. If you have a busy month, you could put in calmness, productivity, maybe independence and boundaries. But whatever that is, where you want to vibrate, because whatever you put into that sun and you fill in with, it matches your chakras, and your energetic field start to match it. And that's what you'll collect back up in, things and people as you go through the month ahead. So maybe you need validation. I don't know, whatever that is, go ahead and fill your sun up. Ease and flow. Creativity. Independence. Maybe some joy and laughter, some light energies, enthusiasm. Bring that sun in through the top of your head, saturate all your cells and organs. Really take your time to saturate your body. And no going ahead the next few days, really, maybe every morning, create a new grounding cord and release any energies that are coming up for you, because as you're clearing this energy that was keeping you from having your independence, it may resurface and maybe more intense. It's just that it's coming up to clear. So you'll want to drink more water as well to help your body process this energy. So it's really important over the next few days to really create a new grounding cord every day. To release it, all you have to do is retract it, let it go into the center of the planet, create a new one. Get grounded, release the energies, collect up yours, fill yourself in, and again, stay hydrated. Okay, take a couple of deep breaths. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come out of trance. Thank you for being in the meditation. Have a great month ahead.